Broken wheel back at you. As always, fishing sucks, mostly because the rivers are way too high, and I'm not very good at trout lining or standing outside and getting destroyed by bugs all night. So, I'm gonna do another political video today. This one's about the press conference of 8/8/20, and yes, it is another Trump thing. A lot of people don't like the man, but I think it's probably our best shot. I was also just listening to some stuff about Reagan and Goldwater, and then Space Force stuff. It's been a bit of a blur. Either way, the press conference itself started off with basically talking about vets, like as in veterans. Um, Apparently, VA benefits have been expanded, and people that I should say, veterans that were blinded in both eyes are probably gonna get some more help, which is good. Um, Not being able to see is a real pain in the butt, so that's a good point. Then it runs off into basically the economic COVID-19 corona uh, disaster, which really has been an absolute disaster. All sorts of numbers get shot off all the time. But I mean, you can look at things micro or you can look at them macro, and there are people that will flip from basically they'll ask them a question and they'll just flip to the other spectrum, and they'll just do that forever. And it works because eventually people just lose patience. But let's see. Well, overinflation, basically the new stimulus package that may or may not happen. Although I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but apparently the thing's like 2,000 something pages long, and no one but politicians are allowed to read it. So we got this 2,000 page long, maybe even more, document full of all sorts of loony stuff, and no one can read it. I really wish it was published, but no one wants to do that because that would that's a lot of dirty laundry. So, but it's supposed to be up to 3 trillion, although I thought it was already up to 3.5. But it kind of depends on what point you're talking about or what time frame you're talking about. Either way, these big blue cities, basically the big population densities, when temperatures get really hot, the mass stuff just doesn't really work for everybody. It works for some people, doesn't work for others. Caution is probably still needed, especially if you want to start talking about getting kids back into school, which would be sort of a mixed system, which is how it's supposed to be, anyways. But yeah, 3 trillion, another 3 trillion. I have no idea what the national deficit is up to, but it is mind-boggling, and world debt is, good lord, quintillions of dollars. No idea. More lighthearted side of things, there was that funny stuff that Kanye was doing again. Apparently, I thought it was to make a point about how all electronic ballots are probably not the best thing to do. Well, apparently this guy's got 2,000 people in Illinois just to pencil in his name on the mail-in ballots. No, it's not the mail-in. Basically the ballots that are just flying around everywhere. There's hundreds of millions of them, and they wind up in all sorts of places, and people get mad because they don't have their packages. But then it's like, oh, the post office, and everyone is also incredibly overworked because everyone just wants to sit. Well, a lot of people want to sit inside, which technically I'm doing right now, so I guess I'm a hypocrite on that point. But the Kanye thing was funny. I don't think a lot of people got it. Uh, well, whichever. It was all about Illinois, really. Then it runs into. Well, I started talking about the wall, which is sort of a topic for me. Apparently, there's 274 new miles of the thing. Now, this is on a border that stretches like, what is it, like 1,400 miles? But I mean, it's important to beef up security, sure, but I would say that that deep old desert, especially the Sonoras and the Sky Mountains, are pretty vicious walls all by themselves. You really don't. I don't think you need to wall up the whole damn thing, but it's not up to me, and it's kind of being used as a checker point, like a tit for tat sort of thing. Although I also looked at the figures, and the highest COVID Corona 19 infection rates are currently in Mexico and Brazil and South America. So that is a bit of a point. Like if you want your safety, that's the biggest. I think Mexico is number one. I believe the U.S. is number 4, but it kind of depends on testing. So then, well, this is where I skipped ahead. Apparently, the bill was 1,760 pages, but he said there was also much, much more of it. So, I mean, a 2,000-page book. I mean, of very dense legal wording. I have no idea how one person would ever even read any of that. It would take years, really. But it'll just get slipped right through. Make some intern do it for free, I guess. Oh wait, there aren't interns anymore because COVID shut down the universities. And then it started to. Well, then he started to. I think he signed 4 new executive orders, which this is getting to be a bit much. I know a lot of. I mean, I was pretty upset about Obama for doing it so much, and now Trump is also doing it a whole bunch. So that is a bit of a problem. I mean, it's like the same situation almost reversed, but I think Trump is actually fighting for the little guy better than the other options are currently. It's sad to say there really is only one other option. I mean, I know the Libertarian Party's trying to get a seat on the debate table, but, well, I mean, I think that would actually be pretty cool if there was actually more than just Biden and Trump. I can't remember her name, but some libertarian candidate, which would be probably much needed. Then it goes into tax cuts, which this is where things get a little fuzzy because the benefits, instead of $600 extra, now it's $400 as of pretty soon, or not, if not already. The part of that I like would be if they just got rid of some payroll tax or, God forbid, property tax, because that has been killing a lot of people. But government wants more government money, and once it's entrenched, it's almost impossible to get rid of. So I don't. Part of the problem is it's a never-ending problem. Oh, and then Trump started talking more and more about stock markets and how the markets apparently are doing better. I'm not real big on stock market stuff. To me, it's just another form of gambling. And, well, I guess that's the best hope we got, though, is a gamble. Gamble upwards, I suppose. Or pour it up. Either way, ultimately, I think all this paper is just paper. And some guy I used to like economically described them as paper tigers. Which isn't entirely true, because those tigers do have lots of powerful friends with big weapons, and they can throw you in a little cell for your whole life if they want to. But Trump, I think you've done a good job. Biden, I hope you are ready for the debates. I know it's ways off already. And I hope they actually let some other, like a libertarian or a green, also get into the fray of that, because it would just be more fun. And hopefully we can reduce these executive actions, because this kind of goes against the whole republic that we're trying to defend here. But anyway, I've been rambling for quite a while. So everybody have a safe night. Don't do anything too crazy. See ya later.